Okay. 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 All right. Excuse me. Well, good morning, everybody. Awesome. So, as you know, I'm Dr. Regina McClinton, and I am Mrs. Height's sister. And I'm really excited to be here with you all. So, what I want us to do is to go ahead and take out your handout on plants, parts of a plant. Awesome. All right. So, we're going to go through the parts of the plant together. And we are going to, I'm going to give you some additional information about each of those parts. And I've got some kind of cool images and information to share with you. And let's have some fun, okay? Cool. All right. So I think plants are really cool and they're very, very important for the survival of the earth. Anybody know that what we breathe out, when we breathe out, does anybody know what that molecule is that is in the air? It's a gas. We call it carbon di. Go ahead. Yes, you, number 6, iPad 6, you have your hand up. Yes. Um, if the people will mute, can people mute their volume? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, that's better. All right. So, this lovely young woman here at iPad number 6. So you just, okay, let's see. You haven't muted her yet. Okay, her right there next to you. She raised her lovely hand. Go ahead and tell me what it is when we breathe out. What is that gas called? Do you know? Go ahead. Very good. All right. So that's one carbon molecule, two oxygen molecules, and that's a waste product for us. So everyone can yell out what it is we want to breathe in. What's the molecule, the gas called that we want to breathe in? Very good. Very good. So the oxygen comes from the plants, and what they do is take the carbon dioxide in, separate the carbon, and they use that to make sugar. How cool is that? Then they take the oxygen and combine that and put that back into the air so that we can breathe it. So plants are incredibly important. As you all know, we eat them, right? We love to look at them because the flowers are so beautiful. So let's learn a little bit more about plants. All right, so here is my screen. Let's see. Nope, I'm not doing the right thing here yet. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to have to keep it a little quiet and let's see if we can make this work. All right, so here, right, are the parts of the plant. Can you all see that? That should be the same, there we go, same handout you all have, right? I think it's because they're close together. Because the people are close together. You have all those iPads close together. Okay, how we sound now? Is that better? Is that be- Can you hear me now? Okay. Is that better? Let's see now. Is that any better? How's that? All right, and it's okay. I can be late for that. That's not a problem. All right, so um, let's take a look now at the handout. Okay, so everybody's got the handout. Do you see the handout on my screen? Is that what you see when you're looking at the screen? Is the handout? Okay. How about now? Okay. Well, sorry. Okay. So what we're going to do is go through the handout. If you look at the bottom part of the handout, let's see here, share screen. Okay. And here we are at the bottom. All right. And at the bottom, we have what are called the roots. Now, the roots have a lot of functions, and it is in the roots that you pick up the soil. So, if you have a plant at home, what do you have to add to the soil so the plant will live? Go ahead and shout it out. Water, very good, very good. So the water goes into the soil area, and then the roots pick up that water. And let's see if Dr. McClinton can be really good here. All right. Do you see images of roots? Okay, so, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Um, all right. So this is a tree, and you know sometimes trees have their roots, some of them above ground. They have a whole lot underground as well. But what do you think the roots might be important for a plant? Other than taking up water, what else do you think it'll do? Go ahead. iPad number 3, yes. Yell it out. Sun. Okay, that's going to be a different part of the plant that will work with the sun. We're going to, okay, I think we got it now. Can you see the plant now? Can you see your handout here? Okay, so now let me show you this image. Haha. This is a tree, and you see some of its roots are above the ground, right? But it also has a ton of them underground like this. So, has it been windy out there for you guys lately? Okay, so you feel the wind, right? right? So the plants feel the wind as well. And what do you think the roots might be important for if the plant is being pushed by the wind? Very good for it to be stable. It helps to anchor the plant into the ground. So here we want to put the word root in. Can you all do that for me? Right, on your handout, go ahead and fill in root on this line. All right. Now we're going to move up to the next line on your handout. And what is that pointing to? Can anyone tell me? Go ahead, yell it out. Leaf. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So all that stuff I said about carbon dioxide going in and oxygen coming out, that happens here at the leaf. All right. So the leaf is really important as well. It's going to take in that carbon dioxide. It's going to take that carbon away and make sugar, which is so great. It's going to give off the oxygen, and it also takes in energy. Anybody know what the energy source is for the plant? Go ahead. Sun, very good. So as you know, the sun gives more than light. It actually gives off energy. And we feel that as heat, but plants feel it differently and take that energy and use that to pay for changing the carbon dioxide into carbon and sugar and oxygen. Think of it like you put gas, right? That's energy into your car to make it go. Plants use energy from the sun to make all those processes go. All right. Leaves can also be really tasty. Can anyone tell me a leaf they like to eat? Yes, go ahead. Mint. And we're going to get to mint in a moment. And there's also kale and spinach and some others I just forgot right away. Isn't that awful? I forgot. I'm so sorry. All right, let's move on up to the next line on our diagram. And what part of the plant is it pointing to? Can you tell me? Go ahead, yell that out. Stem. Very good. Now, remember we talked down here that the roots take the water up out of the soil. Well, the stem contains the transport tubes that move the water up through the plant. And it also connects all the leaves to the plants and our neck structure here in a minute. So they're very important. Now, let me show you again. Here is a picture of a tree. This here, the bark, right? The trunk of the tree is what its stem looks like. So as a tree gets bigger and matures, that stem gets really thick and big and sturdy, okay? And that's different than the stem you might see on a plant with flowers on it, okay? So speaking of flowers, what is our next arrow pointing to? Good. Flowers, very good. And flowers are very important parts of the plant. This is a bunch of images of flowers, different ones, and I'm going to pick up this one. Isn't that pretty? Yellow here on the outside, and then you see this dark ring of color here, and then more bright yellow. So, flowers often attract what are called pollinators, right? And these are insects and animals that transfer some of that pollen dust. Everybody ever touch pollen dust, right? You touch a flower and you get that dust on you. That's pollen. And so they transport that from one plant to the other, and then the plant uses that pollen to make a fruit. In this case, all these color patterns are information, and they tell the pollinator, don't waste your time out here. Come here and hang out. And when the pollinator is here, then it's going to come into contact with the pollen. And let's see if Dr. McClinton can, there it is. There's a picture I wanted. This is a bee. And you see all these pretty yellow spheres or balls on it? Each of those is a grain of pollen. And the bee has the pollen on it from one flower, will then go to a different flower and transfer the pollen. This is actually a different kind of bee, all right? But you get the idea. So our flowers are important so that we can then transfer pollen and get the pollen, and then the plant can make a fruit. Can anybody tell me a fruit they like to eat? Go ahead, yell it out. Apples, very good. And so you may have heard the term apple blossom. That refers to the flower that gives rise to the fruit. Now, radishes are different. This is a very good point. Thank you for raising it. Let's go back down our image. And what the radish is an expanded root. That's what a carrot is too. And when you see a whole plant, it will have leaves up above the tasty portion of the radish or the carrot. Very good. Now, you can tell a fruit, you can tell if something is a fruit because it has a certain something inside of it. And that certain something is a seed. So what are some things that you eat that have seeds in them? Very good, good, good. Keep going. Yes, peaches have a specific single seed. Very good. Watermelon, love watermelon, okay? So you get the idea, right? We're going to take the water in. The water's coming in the roots, up the stem. Some of it will go to the leaves. The leaves are going to take that carbon dioxide that we breathe out, take that carbon off and make sugar, take that oxygen, put it back in the air so we can breathe it, and then more water will come up and be with our flowers. Our flowers are very pretty and attract insects that will get pollen, take it from one to the other so that we can then get fruit. Isn't that cool?